Alright, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, great millstone, and salutations to all Akim out there pushing his truth in all truth and sincerity diligently throughout the four corners, alright? I'm the brother Shamar Ma coming to Yakim with another quick lesson. The Lord's will this lesson be quick, edifying, and straight to the point, man. Alright, this lesson is going to be based upon the supply chain issue. All right, that's happening with the Mississippi River, man. All right, here in North America. All right, this the issue that's going on with the Mississippi River is that it's drying up, man. Okay, and it's disrupting a lot of supply being transported from one area to another area. But the main focus that I want to focus on is the agricultural side of it. As I'm gonna play this 4-minute video and you'll see what I'm talking about, man. I'll put the link to this video also in the description as well. All right. So without further ado, I'll just play it.
The Mississippi River is drying up. Water levels are approaching record lows. Barges are getting stuck on sandbars in unprecedented numbers. Many ports and docks no longer have water deep enough for commercial boats to safely reach them. And this is a problem for the whole country.
The Mississippi River, a lot of people just think of it as this beautiful, large, historic river in the middle of the country, but really it serves as a transportation highway for a lot of industry.
The river is a critical shipping route for agriculture, oil, and building materials, and the Mississippi watershed, which includes all the creeks, streams, and lakes that feed into the Mississippi River, is the largest in the U.S.
Farmers in Iowa, they harvest their soybeans and they put them on barges and send them down to the port below New Orleans, and then it's sent to China. Chemicals are processed in Louisiana and sent upriver to the Ohio to factories in Pittsburgh. The central part of this country thrives in part on industry moving goods and services up and down the river.
October is traditionally a month of low water on the Mississippi, but this year the river's water levels are approaching lows not seen since 1988.
And if that's the case, the river at certain points is just going to shut down for commercial traffic.
The water has gotten so low that a shipwreck was exposed along the banks of the river in Baton Rouge, Louisiana earlier this month. Archaeologists believe it sank in 1915. In recent weeks, there have been over 20 blockages on the river and backups of thousands of barges per day.
When a barge gets stuck on a sandbar, it's a real expensive mess. Another barge has to come. You have to bring equipment to remove that material and put it in another barge to the point where it will float enough so that it can get off the sandbar.
In some cases, the towboats, which pull dozens of barges each, have hit sandbars so hard that the barges they're towing disconnect. And that's dangerous for bridges and other boats. Riverboat cruises have also halted due to low water levels. Industry leaders say if water levels stay this low or get even lower, the tourism industry will take a massive hit. So what's causing the river to dry up?
It just did not get enough rain this year, particularly in the upper Ohio River Valley. Normally, this is hurricane season in the south. Some hurricanes will plow into the United States and then become enormous rainstorms that go up into the Ohio River Valley and dump a lot of rain. That didn't happen this year.
And industries that rely on the river to transport goods don't have many alternatives.
It's not as though a farmer can just run to the railroad and that solves the problem. The rail system is so pressed right now, and they have labor shortage issues. They have capacity issues that they're running into.
But sticking with the river will be costly for farmers. Normally, shipping along the Mississippi River is the cheaper option, but with fewer boats and barges able to transport goods, prices have shot up. For example, the cost of sending a ton of corn, soybeans, or other grains from St. Louis to southern Louisiana has jumped over 380% since October 2021. The fall harvest season, which usually peaks in October, is the busiest time for agricultural products.
If you can't get a rail line out, your soybeans are just sitting in an open field. I mean, a lot of farmers are hesitating to even harvest right now. But if they're let's say there are massive rainstorms and your soybeans are just sitting out there, that could really, really, really be disastrous.
This disruption along the river comes at a time when the war in Ukraine has prompted huge demand for American agricultural products.
And farmers were very excited. They can't get their stuff to market. They can't get it to market, not easily and not cheaply.
Over the last few weeks, the U.S. Coast Guard has imposed restrictions on the depth that commercial boats and barges can sit in the water, and on the number of barges that tows can pull. Both actions are to try to stop barges and boats from getting stuck, but industry leaders say it's not enough.
There's no real answer except for the rain. There's hope that beginning around December, rain will start to fall in the Ohio River Valley to an extent where it'll start to bring that water back down to the Mississippi and things will get better. If not, we're all in a lot of trouble.
And in a lot of trouble you Americans are, man. Okay. Now, as we see when we watch this video, man. All right. Again, the first thing that they said is affected was agriculture, man. All right. Agriculture, uh, agriculture, and they said oil, right, and building material. Now, agriculture has to deal with food, man. Okay, and Ukraine being the breadbasket of the world, going through war right now. The world is looking for other means of who has food. One place is America, but now there's an issue on getting certain products like soy to being able to be shipped throughout the world, man. And this is going to affect you Americans as well. Don't just think, oh, these states are within our borders, so it's going to be easy to bring the food to our table. No, all right. The reason why is because most expensive crop in decades, farmers face higher stakes than ever with inflation. So not only do they have to deal with this Mississippi River issue, they have to deal with inflation, man. Okay, where's that graph that they had showed? So I can find it real quick. There you go, right there. This year alone in October, man, it's costing farmers up to $150, so like $105, all right, to be able to ship their crops southbound, man. Okay, being that the Mississippi River was the cheapest option, now they have to find different means, man. Okay, railroads is backed up, gas is at a high right now. So what that means, truckers are gonna ask for more money up front, man. Okay, truckers are gonna ask for more money up front to get them to the shelves. The farmers gonna have to pay a double, triple the amount that they usually used to pay. All right, plus they're gonna have to, pay more to get fertilizer and get different supplies for the crops. All that is going to affect you motherfuckers. All right, when you go to the grocery store. Okay. On top of that, as we heard, the dude was mentioning how a lot of these farmers, they're even skeptical about even picking their crops this year, man. All right, because they have no way or means to send them out. So what's going to end up happening? These crops are going to end up being stuck in the fields. All right, bugs are going to eat them. Okay, different weather patterns are going to affect them. These crops are going to get disease, sick, or end up just disappearing, man. And again, that's going to affect you Americans at the stores because there's going to be less food, and the food that's going to be there is going to be very costly. Okay, in a time where a lot of people are broke, man, can't afford shit, man. Okay, and all this is going to lead to famine. It's going to lead to uproar. It's going to lead to chaos. It's going to lead to people submitting and bowing down to the mark of the beast. Okay, had to say it like that. Try to get past the algorithm, but nonetheless, all right, this is very real time issues, man. That is happening today. All right, in real time, man. Okay, this is not a joke. These are things the scriptures have told us will happen, man. All right, okay. The Lord told us. All right. Oh, matter of fact, there was something else I wanted to bring up before I go into that. I was going through the comments and I ended up stumbling upon this comment right here. All right, it says that's such an important issue that we should definitely be aware of. Talking about the issue going on with the Mississippi River being dried up, right? It says our film crew recently approached this topic, but focusing on the Colorado River and the Great Lakes, and Great Salt Lake. Okay, that's up in the mountainous regions, right? It says in addition of the lack of water problem, because it's been this year has been a droughful year, man. Ain't really been that much water being pushed out like that in key important regions that needed the rain. Okay, the Lord has been drying America out, man. All right, and even down here in Florida earlier this year, all right, during our how can you say our low rain season where we don't really get that much rain. Okay, it was a record breaking. It was record breaking, man. Every other day was record breaking. How much let's say we're supposed to get rain. Let's say hypothetically, let's say the month of say May or April. Around that time we're supposed to get the spring rain, right? We weren't getting no rain, and the amount of rain we would get in one day was supposed to be enough. Basically, it was supposed to be that amount we got in that one day. We were supposed to get that whole season, so it'll be like we'll go the whole season with no rain, and then boom, one day we'll get 4, 5, 6 inches of rain for a day, and then go back to being drought. It was hot as hell down here. All right, it was dry as hell down here. All right, okay, and this is a problem that's been going on throughout the states, man. It's been very dry this year. Okay, it hasn't been that much water. All right, it says in addition to the lack of water problem, we see other concerning issues. For example, hidden beneath the Great Salt Lake, dangerous metals like arsenic can become airborne and threaten human health. And if this situation is true, I looked up arsenic, and it's a type of metal that could affect the cardiovascular. All right, which has to do with your heart, your lungs and things like that. It causes cancer. Okay, and in babies and in the youth, it causes a high risk of death, man. So not only all right, not only is it going to be famine and chaos and turmoil in that's going to pursue and ensue from this um, Mississippi River being dried up and causing issues with farmers, and this inflation causing an issue with farmers being able to get the goods out. We also gotta you know we also gotta be mindful and know that plagues and pestilence could come from this, man. All right, being that a lot of these toxic metals and toxic things that were stored away by, let's say, for instance, the rivers, the lakes at the bottom, sitting at the bottom, are now going to be exposed, man. All right, to be picked up by the wind. All right, to be transferred airborne to a local city near you, man. All right, and here it is. You're gonna be breathing it in and taking it in, and then turning into fucking zombies and shit. Now, I'm making light of it, but these pestilence and these plagues and this famine, all right, and this turmoil is soon approaching, man. It's around the corner, man. All right, and again, these are things that the Lord, all right, prophesied about. These are things that Yahweh Shem Shai spoke of in the scriptures, man. All right. So, Lord's why I put this link in the description. I also put this link in the description for you brothers to be able to read as well, man. Because with this article explaining how, all right, these farmers are feeling that inflation, man. It's hard for them right now. All right, and if it's hard for the farmers during inflation, how much more it is for the consumer. All right, at the grocery store, at the register, at the shelf, when they and that's something that I personally in my house I've personally seen going to the grocery store during this time of issue, you could say, in America, man. All right, the certain necessities and certain goods that we used to buy at a certain price. All right, those prices have now increased. All right, and during the hurricane, when the hurricane came, those prices doubled. Those already increased price doubled. All right, during that week 2 week period, man. So how much more? All right, and that's just because of a hurricane. So how much more? All right, when when the situation becomes national, when what I'm saying. All right, a lot of these Americans are gonna really feel it, man. So let me go to the book of Second Ezra 15 real quick. I'm gonna start at verse 5 and I'm gonna jump down. It says, "Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world. All right, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. And part of the plagues is famine, man. Okay, it's famine. And the Lord is going to allow famine to take hold, all right, upon the world, man. Okay, and the reason why is why for wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled." So now, since you people in the world, you Americans and you other motherfuckers across the globe wanted to continue to live a wicked and sinful life, all right, it is going to be now time for you to feel, all right, the reward and the outcome of it, man. Okay, remember the scriptures tell us whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap, man. All right, you wanted to live a corrupt life. All right, you wanted to be down with the unrighteous alphabet group, and in the promotion of the unrighteous alphabet group. Well, you're gonna have to feel the pains of what comes from it, man. And part of it is famine. All right, it's gonna hit your pockets. First, it's gonna hit your pockets when you're at the store. You know, a lot of you motherfuckers gonna be seeing it, and you're still gonna be trying to ignore it. But pretty soon, it's gonna be you're not gonna be able to ignore it anymore. All right, just like what it was a couple of months ago. You had couples fighting at this register. All right, all right, when the during the time of when the gas prices was spiking, you had couples fighting at the grocery store because they weren't able to buy the dainties that they used to buy anymore. Got husbands telling the wives, "Man, you're not getting no fucking mochi ice cream, man. Put that shit down. You ain't getting this no more. Put that shit down, man. We gotta pay for gas. You worry about getting this." Bitch, I'm like, "Boy, I want this and I want that." It's gonna get hard out here, man. You're gonna have couples going at it. You're gonna have best friends going at it because they both went to the grocery store at the same time. They inherited their neighbors, okay, and they all struggling, and they see that one neighbor who can't afford it sees the one that can afford it, grabbing it. He's over here like, yo, trying to set up a bargaining, you know, a bartering system with his neighbor, and the neighbor telling him, "Nah, fuck you, man. This for me and my family. You ain't getting none of that shit. I don't care if you got I don't care if you got 3 handsaws and 2 hatchets that you willing to trade for this. You're not getting any. This is for me, my wives, my children." And that's gonna cause tension. That's gonna cause people to get angry at each other, and it's gonna cause people to break into each other's houses, which we're gonna end up getting when we jump down. But before I do that, all right, I want to go to Sirach real quick, 40 and 9. All right, 40 verse 9. 10 actually. This book of Sirach, chapter 40, verse 9, it says, death and bloodshed, strife and the sword. All right, calamities, famine, tribulation, and scourge. All right, keyword right now at this point in time is famine, man. All right, these things, right? These these things are created for the wicked, and for their sake came the flood, right? Just to further prove that you want to live a wicked lifestyle, man. Famine is going to take hold on you, man. All right, famine is going to take hold on you. All right, going back to 2nd Ezra 15, I'm gonna start at verse 11. It says, "But I will bring them with a mighty hand, and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof." And America is the modern day Egypt, man. All right, and what was some of the plagues that the Lord smit Egypt with? The ancient Egypt, the Lord destroyed their crops, man. Go read what happened during the time of Moses and the children of Israel, being led out of Egypt. What happened to Egypt, man? The Lord destroyed their crops. The Lord destroyed their cattle. All right, and then ultimately, the Lord made them all sick. All right, the Lord destroyed their firstborn. Right. Then ultimately, the Lord destroyed their armies and their king, man, and destroyed their city and their nation. I mean, not the nation, their city, so to say, man. All right. And that's what the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shai is going to do to this modern day Egypt, man, this spiritual Egypt, all right, which is America. All right. The Lord is going to destroy their cattle, their crops, make these people sick, all right, and eventually destroy the whole city, man, and the infrastructure. Okay. Verse 12, it says, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plagues and punishment that the Lord shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting and hell, and with a fearful consolation. Right, the farmers, man, they're gonna mourn, and farmers are mourning, man. Okay, if it's not, I shoot you not from what it was from when did the pandemic happen? Was it 2020 or 20 something? Let me see. Well, 2020, but the first case over there in the Gook land was 2019. I remember. That's why they called it the C-19, because it was 19. All right, but it was officially deemed in 2020. So from 2020, 2021, 2022, that's 3 years. These farmers have been catching fucking hell, man. Okay. All right, them that till the ground, they've been catching fucking hell, man. These niggas have been dealing with, especially here in America, man. Been dealing with fucking. I remember there was years ago there was an article that came out how the Midwest and the farmlands was just getting washed out, flooded out, landslides, all type of shit. Then they had to deal with droughts. Okay. Then they had to deal with the shutdown and the government telling them they're not gonna be subsidized if they don't destroy their land, their crops, and their cattle, man. Then it was these quote unquote, all right, quote unquote, uh unexpected and freaking man, how can you say unexpected and out of the ordinary destruction of facilities that was just happening all throughout these niggas shit. Then you had cattle just dying off out of nowhere. These niggas would catch a hell to the point that you had the fucking farmers just blowing their shit, man. Suicide was at an all-time high amongst farmers, if not still is. Depression, man. Okay, motherfuckers, the generation, uh, generation old farming families just just giving up, man. They just like, there's no hope no more. All right, and now they gotta deal with inflation, man. Now they gotta deal with inflation and other means of straits and troubles that's being and challenges that's presenting themselves, man. All right. So they that till the ground shall mourn, for their seeds shall fail through the blasting and hell, and with a fearful consolation, man. All right, and that's going to end up trickling down to what? Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, in the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into the city and shall not be able, for because of their pride the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Okay? A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for a great tribulation. So you see how it's leading up, man. The Lord is going to bring those those plagues as he in those pestilence as he did before time in the land of Egypt. Part of it has to deal with the agriculture and the cattle being put down. All right, and that's going to lead to farmers pulling their hair and despair, not knowing what to do, and eventually it's going to lead to chaos and seditions and invading one another, man, because there's gonna be no food, man. And all this is what the Lord said He was gonna bring, all right, upon the wicked, man. And it's happening in our sight. It's happening before our eyes. All right, okay. Hey, I'm wanting to know, man. I've been going to the store lately, and I've been seeing a lot of these shelves has been being empty, man. Walmart and shit, man. No matter what store you go to the fucking produce, you go to the deli sections and shit. Go to the dairy sections, these shelves are more and more and more empty, man. All right? They're becoming more and more scarce, man. Food, basic household necessities and things like that are becoming very scarce to find, man. Okay, second Ezra 6 and 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty, man. And that's what's about to happen, man. All right, and that's what's happening in our sight, man. All right, because of disobedience, because of the wickedness that's been, all right, being promoted in the earth. The Lord is bringing judgment upon this place, man, and it's very much so needed, man. And I'm for it. All right, all right. And I pray the Lord continue to bring more judgment to this shit, man. Okay, because that's the only thing that's gonna cause, all right, motherfuckers to pay attention is when their stomachs touching their back. When they hear their stomach go, and they hear their little babies crying, and while thoughts running through their mind, damn, this baby won't shut up. Maybe if I snap the baby neck, cut off the arms and the thigh, and cook it, maybe the baby shut up, and I'll be full. Then that's gonna cause motherfuckers to start paying attention and listening, okay? But by then it's gonna be too late. They just gonna have to fucking face the judgment for real, for real. All right. But as for us, man, we don't really have to worry about none of that, man, because when we go to the book of Job, the 5th chapter, okay, in that time of famine, we don't got nothing to worry about. All right, because the Lord said what? Job 5 and 19, He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, yea, in 7, there shall no evil touch thee. In famine, He shall redeem thee from death, and in the power of the sword. Just so like it. And in war from the power of the sword. All right. Okay. In famine, He shall redeem thee. Verse 20. In famine, He shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth. For thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee. So we don't have nothing to worry about, man. All right, as everybody else gonna be going crazy. 2 Ezra 2:27 tells us what? Be not weary. For when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance, man. Isaiah 65 tells us we're gonna eat, we're gonna drink, all right, we're gonna rejoice and we're gonna sing, man. As everybody else starves and be thirsty and mourn and house for vexation of spirits, man. All right. So that's what's happening, man. All right. That's what's happening, and don't be surprised if more happens, okay? Don't be surprised if the Mississippi River completely dries the fuck out, okay, and the railroad strikes and shortages complete, and the railroad system completely shuts down, all right, and the truckers get tired of, all right, of all the bullshit that's going on, and they fucking give up on driving your fucking foods to your grocery stores, man. It's about to be a real fucked up world out here, man. All right. So with that, those were this was edifying. Shalom.